Rishi went on that huge string of tournament wins in like middle of the summer, and I just like happened to just not be casting at that time or doing like Garden Invitationals, or as they're called now, Duke Invitationals. All right, I'm pretty sure Silicon has to ban Tyrannak here, unless it's frightening. Oh, they'd ban Hostile Chimerian. That makes sense. If they know that the Tyrannak is frightening, then it doesn't ruin their game plan as much. Once again, 7 of Rishi's Tems deal super effective damage to Torrent Knight, so we probably won't be seeing that Tem again. Gario also looking pretty solid, unless Rishi is on Plague Tyrannak, and even then, that doesn't even kill Gario, I would imagine. So Rishi plays a little bit slower of a pace on their teams. He's not quite as explosive as Red Moon. He's not quite as all-in as Red Moon is. On the offenses, he kind of maybe will be a little bit slower. So Silicon is probably going to try and like find opportunities to get Stonewalls off this game. It'll be less about immediately trying to counterplay. What is going on?
Do you think Ishi is really affected by a Naga? It is questionable, but Rishi does have a Tyrannak to remove the proc of the Naga itself, of the Seed Aura.
I think when you have an electric attacker and a crystal attacker and a Tyrannak that actually goes slower in DA, it's pretty hard to pick Naga to lead it. But I do think it is wise of Rishi to ban it out second. Like, I think a legitimate game plan for Silicon this game would have been to pick Naga in the back and just try and, like, deal enough damage to Tuvine and... deal enough damage, to Tuvine and...
Man, people in the predictions and gambling section of the stream are just undermining Silicon, dude. They are literally sending Silicon with a 7% betting and 93% are supporting Rishi. Is this really people underestimating Silicon here? Because that might be a big upset, if it can be.
I think it's just like, you know, if Rishi 2-0 someone in the first round of a top cut of a weekly tournament, I think their like win rate after that, like for the whole tournament, is like 60 plus something percentage. So like, you know, if Rishi's on a roll, he's like a pretty safe pick. And it's like he 2-0'd Jay, who's like one of the best players, I would say, in the entire game. So like that's like, obviously he's probably feeling himself right now. And when Rishi's confident, he plays the game very well.
Fair enough.
So I don't blame Chad for betting on him.
That's fair.
All right.
That's valid.
Here we go.
Let's
We've
see
got
how this goes.
Minotaur Skunch into Kinu. So this protector actually just gets immediately wiped by 𝗂𝗏𝗄's Chamomile. So Silicon already... Oh, no it doesn't. Huh. That's interesting. So I guess because the camo is faster, it doesn't get wiped? I thought they changed that. That's really interesting.
I think it is based on speed. Since 𝗂𝗏𝗄 is faster, the 𝗂𝗏𝗄's item, I think... Wait, hold up.
It didn't used to be like that, though. Like, I thought they changed it a while back where Chamomile always clears buffs.
Now, when they changed the speed thingy, when they changed the whole speed, you know, calculation, that's when it changed as well.
Well, the more you know. 𝗂𝗏𝗄 will only get the +1 as long as it's on the board. So Rishi goes for the Skunch swap out. Twisting gears, I think Chamomile used to be an exception to that patch form, but maybe with the new patch, they've actually changed that. That is not a very strong smart play. Minotaur takes more from the water cannon in response. Kind of a tricky situation, but good on Rishi to get that Whiplump Tornado up early. Definitely something that they're going to want to use in this matchup to punch holes in Silicon Snipe's team. The new 𝗂𝗏𝗄 has such a powerful dual coverage here. They've got water and wind which means that no matter what Silicon Snipe swaps into this, they're probably losing the trade. The only exception I could think of would be the Gario. So wouldn't be surprised to see Silicon go to Gario in the Yggdrasil slot here. Rishi just tries to get the gust damage in first. That goes before. Traps it. Does Silicon swap? Or do they know?
They swap the other slot.
They swap the 𝗂𝗏𝗃. Do they double swap, though? But wait, the reactive vial? Plus the fake beard? With Source Replicator. Now the Yggdrasil can swap. It doesn't swap, but it could have. Isn't that cool? Side spores.
The spores will be applied on Yggdrasil as well. That was a good
wipes
turn
reactive
for
vial.
Silicon, you can
What
say.
a turn. Hang
He
on.
got so many buffs there going.
Yggdrasil got trapped, Arviled, vigorized, and
Sapped.
sapped all in one turn. That's incredible. 4 statuses in a single turn.
Yoshikage. That sounds like an anime character.
Yeah, the 𝗂𝗏𝗃 leaving does mean that there won't be any more protector bonus on it when it comes back in. Bit of an underwhelming performance, really, from the 𝗂𝗏𝗃 off the lead. But Silicon does kind of have a decent board position here. They are weak. Both their attempts are weak to 𝗬𝗏𝗃, but 𝗬𝗏𝗃 can only hit one of them at a time with those synergies.
I think 𝗬𝗏𝗃 needs to focus on OB10 because Yggdrasil can be dealt with. 𝗂𝗃𝗃 as well has the fire attacks. There's also a 𝗃𝗏𝗃 that can deal with Yggdrasil. 𝗃𝗏𝗃 can actually also deal with OB10, so it's a choice. They need to do it.
Minotaur's gonna drop speed. We are gonna see it leave here. Oh, well, I guess that's a Tem. No, it's actually a pretty good 2-vine board here. It is no longer a good 2-vine board here. Oh no, it still is. Nope, back up Chimerian, getting things going here. The fake beard immediately gone. Yggdrasil going for the depression. That's a lot of damage on the 2-vine, and it is gonna take those 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 ticks. Man, I gotta say, Saga, Depress is so strong.
I don't know, I was mentioning this before as well. Depress is one move that I would agree needs to be changed. Just make it physical so that it doesn't work with Yggdrasil's 𝗏𝗏𝗃. I mean, I'm fine with the 120 damage, but 3 ticks of poison with that is not fine. I think it's way too much value for Yggdrasil.
I like this play here from Silicon. Going for the Hypnosis just for the 1 turn, just to protect the Kinu. And then the side spores into 𝗏𝗏𝗃, and they can just swap out of this now if they want to. Silicon is doing a really good job of getting the regen ticks going up against Rishi and the toxic ticks going the other way. They're creating a pretty large HP difference. Rishi's gonna need to start pushing through this. Like, they're going to need to start getting some KOs here. Maybe starting to focus the Yggdrasil a little more. We can see Tornado go into Kinu there. Maybe Gust onto Yggdrasil as we see 𝗧𝗏𝗺 come in. Sam is more than happy to take a hit.
I think the way Depress should work maybe is just like Depress, Dim-Mac and everything else that's true damage should be a status, It doesn't count as physical or special, so it will not proc the 𝗏𝗏𝗃 as well.
Yeah.
Something like that is probably the middle solution. So now back to this match. This Yggdrasil is looking quite comfortable unless Turok is threatening it, but I think Yggdrasil can swap out if it wants to for an 𝗂𝗏𝗃, and it's pretty chilling. Actually, maybe OB10 is better.
So, really nice play here by Silicon. They see that the 𝗬𝗏𝗃 has run out of chamomile charges, and it's just completely free for them to Toxicink that slot, right? Like, they're gonna, whatever comes in on Rishi's side is gonna take the two ticks.
Yep.
And in this case, it's Minotaur, and Minotaur's just gonna go down here. They do have one opportunity before they die to get a Purgation off onto one of these Tems. I don't think it's the 2-vine. I don't think 2-vine has what it takes to carry the game. Mostly because it's 2-vine, but also because Silicon does have you know, that fast special attack damage from 𝗂𝗏 lingering in the back. They're gonna bring 𝗬𝗶10 in here. Again, just making it really easy to keep the stamina game going.
I think we are at the same situation again, where if 𝗏𝗏𝗺 dies, then 𝗂𝗏 can be going free into the wild to attack.
So you decide to just bet it all on the 2-bind here, and it's gonna eat Depress right back.
Well,
Oof.
that's a 2-bind.
Now on the bright side, I think doing damage to 𝗧𝗧𝗺 was like really solid there for Rishi. Like they needs to kill this 𝗧𝗧𝗺, but 𝗬𝗏 has got Bush up, and he's gonna need to outspeed Bush with this 𝗬𝗏. That might not be the easiest task in the world.
For sure.
To say nothing of Silicon just being able to leave. So 𝗬𝗏 would take a fair bit of damage from P-Jab Matter Teleport. And yes, it's tough. I agree with Silicon's choice here, getting rid of the 𝗧𝗧𝗺. It is going to be the Gario coming in. Synergy Bush. I mean, Synergy Bush doesn't matter too much. It helps against the 𝗬𝗏. But not really the board that's currently in front of him. That's Lenyo. He's going to punch through. Outspeeding the perfect jab. Is Brawny. Do we see Slingshot come out on the Scunch? We do,
yep,
so.
It is Rishi. Rishi has the Slingshot Scunch.
Now, Silicon is far enough ahead that I wonder if they do try to go for a value play here with Harvest. Plasma Beam is plenty of damage into the Scunch, and it may be the difference in life or death on this Gario. Still, Rishi does have Matter Teleport, and the perfect jab is in 𝗬𝗺, so it might not be enough. I actually don't think Rishi's that far behind, as weird as it sounds. Like, they need to set up certain situations in the game for 𝗬𝗏, Scunch, and 𝗬𝗏, but if they can do that, I think that they can still win this, even though they are 2 Tems down. They have plenty of stamina left on these Tems.
Rishi definitely needs a specific scenario for him to work out in this first match, but even if it doesn't work out, he can still take the notes and apply it on match 2 and 3, as we before talked, you know. In a best of 3, it's all about adapting. And 𝗧𝗏𝗺, of course, comes into play.
There's the Yoshidashi. Like, Rishi is taking damage here. I think that was probably a smart play from Silicon to sacrifice the 𝗧𝗧𝗺. Like, I don't actually think Nid did anything for him for the rest of that game. It just buys him a little bit of time. Yoshidashi is now down, which means that 𝗬𝗺 might be able to live a double here. Rishi, of course, can threaten with Hypnosis, however.
The only thing that I don't agree with the last kill was that it enabled the 𝗧𝗏𝗺. So as long as Rishi can get a kill every single turn now, he can keep proccing it if AoE was attacked, that is. Since it is not, I guess it's good for Silicon again. He's not proccing the evasion away so that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, so one of the downsides with 𝗧𝗏𝗺 on 𝗬𝗏. Oh, it's a drill. Look out, Rishi. Oh
my god.
One
that is the
HP
mysterious
Gario.
item. That is the mysterious item we kept on talking about, and it finally comes in. And that is a Gary drill, though. Holy
I mean,
shit.
lest we forget, this Gario lived on 1 HP here. This is a tough break for Mr. Rishi, and then yeah, Silicon Snipe putting on a show here, pulling out the drill and slamming down the 𝗬𝗏. Even still, I don't think this is unwinnable for Rishi. It's tough. It's really tough for him. It's very tough for him to break Harvest with so little stamina on his Scunch. So that's a smart Tsunami. Oh, but the Scunch rests. And Gario hits it with Cold Geyser, but it's not enough to kill. Okay, Rishi, okay. Gust can definitely pick up a kill on 𝗧𝗵𝗺, and then he gets to hit. He doesn't get to hit. He gets to hit Harvest only with Ninja Jutsu. I think if Silicon goes to Kinu here, there's no way that Rishi can pick up the win here.
I mean, even if it doesn't, I don't think it can win, because I think 𝗵𝗶 cannot kill a OB10 with +4 special defense, can it?
I'm not sure. I guess now that we know it's Tsunami, we know that Rishi's not running Hibernate, so I suppose he can't. Hibernate 𝗵𝗶 could have been pretty interesting, because it would have meant that the 𝗵𝗶 had like near infinite stamina with Patient. Yeah, we do see they stayed in to get the kill. It's like this Gario is like what are you doing on this Gario right now? Just there's the water cannon from Harvest. Synergy Laundry. That's gonna clear the chamomile from 𝗵𝗶. Put him in the washing machine.
Damn, 𝗵𝗶 got washed up. This is the same Gario that was 1 HP at one time in this game, and now he's at 20.3% HP.
Is that a visual bug? Or is that just the regen tick? I don't think Laundry actually gives 10% HP recovery.
Wait, Laundry heals, I think, right? With Synergy, if I'm not wrong?
I'm not sure if it does or if that's just a visual bug. I'm not actually sure. It was mods get in chat. This advertisement. There's the Tsunami coming out. There's the overexertion though. The Mom's Lunch coming in clutch after the Laundry wipes the camo. Puts Rishi on the back foot here, and I think it's just kind of a slow demise of the 𝗵𝗶. It's got too much work to do.
If OB10 has the Doom, then it is definitely gonna just apply the Doom and chill out. The Digi-Threat, I mean.
It does, yeah, it does Digi-Threat. Maybe a little bit excessive, if you ask me. Like, you probably also could have just Plasma Beam Beta Bursted it a couple times and it would have died, but, you know, whatever. Silicon picks up the win in game number 1. Now that Rishi knows that, they have to play that situation a little bit differently, as they will take blue in game number 2 and immediately go for the 𝗵𝗶 opener, opting to ban out the 𝗧𝗵𝗺 instead of the 𝗧𝗫𝗫. That makes a lot of sense.
I'll just say this for the audience. If you guys are willing to try out open info in which, you know, you would have known that this was a drill, then tomorrow is the tournament that you can jump into. That's the link. It is open info tomorrow. Now with that being said, Chimurian is the first ban this time around.
Chimurian was the first ban last game as well, actually. Both players have the same 2 bans, but do you see the difference between blue and orange here? Like, Rishi gets to open 𝗵𝗶. Silicon has to commit their 2 picks, and as soon as they do, Rishi slaps Token, and all of a sudden Rishi just has the board.
Correct.
Turn number 1. Like, Token is going to burn both these Tems. Silicon is going to have to swap 1, maybe 2 Tems out. In the process, they're going to give Rishi that Tornado off hold on both Tems. And most of the stuff that Silicon swaps in is going to get tagged by Water Cannon if they do. So, not a great... We can see that the whole draft just flips around when Rishi gets blue, which I wonder, you know, if Silicon's able to win this either in this one or in game number 3, but especially if they get the outdraft and the W in game number 3, it's going to be 2 players in a row who chose not to take blue in game 1 against Silicon. I wonder if he does progress, if the finalist will opt to take blue themselves. Because Silicon is the 8th seed, right? So they're always going to be... The other player will always get to choose against them. Bit of a different look for Rishi in the backline here. We do see that Tuvine has been banned out, so they are going to go for Tyrannac Minotaur. I don't believe they had Minotaur last game, but I might be mistaken. Oh no, they did have Minotaur in their opener last game. But we see Silicon going for what looks like again, it's going to be Protector onto Nidrasil and a Mom's Lunch. So Rishi has to be like a little bit careful. off the hop here because they are exhausted on their Thames. But the difference in...
a lot of people have been saying that the Synergy Laundry does heal. Like, it is not written in the description, but it does heal. It was not a visual bug. It actually got healed. I don't know. We might need to check it out later on.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't particularly relevant to that match. 𝗂𝗵𝗶 is in play. And we do see the wind burst. Man, the protector bonus. Silicon is going to go for that reactive vial onto Yoshikage. I wonder if Rishi remembered about how Mom's Lunch interacts with bait. They do go for the water cannon, so we'll deal neutral damage. But, yeah, that's a tough one for Rishi. Mom's Lunch and bait interact with such a way where if a Tem is exhausted and then suffers a secondary effect, bait just doesn't clear the secondary effect. So, for example, a 𝗬𝗶𝗴 with handcuffs that traps, that hits a Tem with bait, the Tem will still be trapped. Because bait, the secondary status clears the exhausted. Mm-hmm. So as you can see, Rishi's bait went off on his token, but he didn't get vigorized. And he still got that toxic tick, which means his token can't stay in play. It has to leave now.
Yep.
And this is a lot worse of a situation for Rishi. So Ironak is going to eat the Aquatic Whirlwind.
Some new interactions are really confusing for people for sure. The interactions of the new items.
Oh, the Toxic Ink is going to hit Tyrannak as well. That's a lot of damage onto the dinosaur. Up turn 2 swap here for Rishi. Likely forced by how that interaction works with Mom's Lunch, but I gotta say, I really underestimated the power of Mom's Lunch in this matchup. Like, 𝗬𝗏 is now, even with Patient, or it might be Plethoric actually, I don't know for sure. 𝗬𝗏 is closing in on being out of stamina. Token has to leave in front of the 𝗬𝗏, and all of a sudden, this 𝗬𝗏 is looking very, very dangerous for Silicon.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, thanks, he's patient. Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is patient. The thing is, it backs out right now and Minotaur makes its way in.
There it is. Tyrannak is just going to eat the water cannon and down it goes. So Silicon takes an early Tem lead, and look at all the value this Toxic Inks are getting for Silicon. Somewhere on his little vacation, Matt Gia just smiled. 𝗬𝗏 coming in for Rishi. I like this play from Rishi though. No more reactive vial up. Synergy Gust is going to tag Yoshikage before it can leave. So if Silicon doesn't see it coming, I mean, I assume he will, but he actually can't leave on this Nidorsill. He's pinned. He has to stay in. Rishi may be able to play off of that.
I mean, if I was him, might as well try to do a Depress, right? Just see if it can get off, kind of thing. Or maybe an Spores or Allergic Spread, Toxic Ink, something. Do something other than trying to get it out, because that's not an option you have.
Rishi just goes for the Gust. That's correct. Does Silicon go for the swap this time? They don't. They stay in. That Whirlwind, Minotaur gets tagged. Silicon does take the OX for this. They're going to hit with Spark Bullet. Look at the bulk.
If this is a Depress, it's kind of...
Nah, they just goes for the Toxic Ink. That's probably more damage than Depress would have did.
Right.
But look at that. A double OX turn from Silicon here. So Rishi finally gets a little bit of breathing room here in game number 2. They're behind on HP. They're behind in Tems. But they've got this one turn where they can set something up. What are they going to do, though? OB10.
Rishi has to utilize everything that he can, otherwise he will be in the backseat of the game again.
Yeah, this is smart from Rishi. He's going to get +1 onto his Scunch. He very likely gets to go to +2 because his Minotaur is his Minotaur might not be faster than Harvest. It's close. Minotaur does not have the highest base speed. It relies mostly on Rusher. So at only +1, Harvest has been remarkably fast this entire tournament. So it wouldn't surprise me if it gets to go beforehand and hit the Minotaur. But even with +1 on Scunch, Rishi can do a lot of work here. Okay, they are going to opt instead just to go for Hypnosis onto the OB10. That's a smart play. Might buy them an additional turn.
I just realized we were looking at Rishi's Minotaur, and yeah, that thing is absolutely fast. 452 points in speed most likely, or even 500, I'm not sure, but that thing is definitely fast.
That was a great turn from Rishi. He gets the kill, he gets another turn to do something on Minotaur. It's probably just going to be a Sparkling Bullet now onto the 𝗀𝗚. But the Mom's Lunch, does that clear anything? No, it just makes it even more difficult for Scunch to justify staying in. Well, this is tough. Even 𝗬𝗏 is not super happy about taking a Beta Burst, so maybe Rishi just kind of has to try and get value out of the Scunch now.
We have seen this before. Oh wait, no, it was a different Minotaur. I was gonna say that we have seen that before, that Minotaur hits the 𝗀𝗚 for 48%, but it was a different one. It was not this one.
Rusher, even faster. Rishi does leave on Scunch. This is a great read from Silicon to bring in 𝗂𝗏, but he doesn't catch. He catches 𝗬𝗏, not Token. So, and Beta Burst was flying. Oh, he hits the Minotaur. So,
well, here's the problem now. Scunch comes in, dies to 𝗀𝗚. Tulkan comes in, dies to 𝗂𝗏. He is in a checkmate situation. What is he doing? A double end kills either way. This is a very tough spot for Rishi, and Rishi predicting betters as well, I believe.
You know, it's when you run into a situation with like an X4 Tem like Scunch like this, everyone in the crowd, I mean, people are gonna chatter, gonna be like, I knew he was gonna hit the Minotaur, but like you get really focused in on the Scunch, right? Like, oh, 𝗀𝗚 is obviously gonna beta the Scunch. But, you know, this very simple play that Silicon made. Oh, but look how much damage Echoes takes. The Whirlwind going into the Scunch. 𝗬𝗏 goes for the Tornado. Maybe he can finish the 𝗀𝗚 off. Yes,
It is
nice
the
play by
kill, which
Rishi.
means Scunch is still alive and going. The match is not yet over.
Good play from Rishi. I wonder what Silicon goes for now. Has 𝗧𝗏𝗺 hit the board yet?
Let me see. You're taking the 10
It's 100. Has the Gario hit the board yet? Because
no, it didn't.
If Gario still has Autonomy, this can get really hard for Rishi. But Harvest is tanky too. Yeah. Well, Scunch has got to live a double here.
See, the problem here is
Rishi burned Tornado, so he burned Tornado and Jutsu. So Silicon's 𝗂𝗏 is the fastest thing on the board now.
𝗬𝗏 has Sharp Brain, right? Or not?
Sharp Brain's not Prio though.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just as an attack,
𝗂𝗏 has a higher.
right?
Yeah. 𝗂𝗏 has the higher base speed. There's the Synergy Bush. Maybe trying to burn some stamina? Does Rishi rest here or does he go for it? Savage Suplex, that's a huge amount of stamina. Tsunami, that is going to hit Gario. A little bit of damage there, but if Scunch goes down here, Harvest is looking very problematic for Rishi. With +2 special defense. It doesn't have any electric attacks, and it is weak to water, so it's not like completely game over, but Rishi's right side is kind of where Silicon is going to focus here, but Rishi has definitely made plays to get themselves back into the game at this point.
He's not completely out yet. Definitely that play from Scunch. Ninja Jutsu and Tornado killing the 𝗀𝗚 before it could drop the gun on Scunch has definitely turned around the tides of this game for sure. Do you think the swap, like Silicon definitely needs a swap, I think, to be honest. Because if he does that, then 𝗃𝗀𝗺 will be online again. But the problem is he also has to kill the Scunch, because Scunch is going to be a problem by itself.
Yeah, I think it probably makes the most sense for Silicon to just throw a double Scunch his way here. I'm pretty sure Harvest outspeeds his Scunch, even at +1, although it's close. And
Yeah,
if
and the
Scunch can
burn
land at
would be-
Oshidashi,
Mm-hmm.
+1 attack on the Scunch, Oshidashiing the Gario.
I mean,
be
if
difficult.
Harvest outspeeds it, then Plasma Beam is gonna apply the burn, which is 30% less damage at least.
Yeah. But at +1 speed, maybe Rishi gets ahead of Harvest here.
He doesn't
Rishi
risk
retreats. Yeah. Goes for the token instead. I have to imagine this is a KO for Silicon.
It should be, unless
Old Geyser, yeah.
this is
The
looking
token
really
goes
bad
down.
for Rishi now, to be honest.
Well,
Maybe actually, Ukama is still alive, and Ukama.
so the upside is now he has Tornado up on 𝗬𝗠, and he didn't have that last turn. I don't know how much that matters. It
Well, the
might matter.
problem is that Scunch wants to kill the Gario, correct? But Ukama is no more useful in this match because Tulkan is dead, so Silicon can decide to just throw the Ukama on Gario's slot and try to do some damage on Scunch this turn. It will overexert it if it tries to do an Oshi or Suplex. Either one of them, it will OX.
I
On
think
next
Rishi's
turn,
counting on that, Saga. I think Rishi's counting on that. Because Ukama can die to the Tornado from 𝗬𝗠, and that means that the +1 Oshidashi actually hits Harvest instead. And then Rishi has a kill on it after that with Savage Suplex. Sorry, with Ninja Jutsu. It would OX himself to do so, but then the end game is Gario against 𝗬𝗠. And that is a matchup that
see.
Rishi wins. So I think Silicon needs to just kind of bite the bullet here and just try to hit Rishi back. Like, swapping could be very, very risky for Silicon because he needs his Ukama to live a Tornado at 49%. But, like, Rishi's play only makes sense. Oh my god, he swapped it. Here we go.
let us see how this goes. Is Rishi banking on this or not?
Plasma Beam outspeeds. He perfect
jabs.
jabs Harvest.
Okay.
That's gonna be another slingshot proc. Tsunami.
Okay, well. The question again comes down to, is this Aquatic Whirlwind Bush turn or Ninja
too
Jutsu
slow.
should still be faster now? Yeah, Ninja like Scunch will outspeed now if required.
Yep. So he gets to pick a slot and Jutsu it. Jutsu kills Ukama. PVM kills Scunch. Water Cannon kills Harvest, and then the end game is 𝗬𝗪 versus 𝗬𝗠. Which I'm pretty sure Rishi wins. Silicon needs to get out with Ukama, I think. If oh man, this is close.
This is very,
Oh
very
man,
close.
this is close. This is close because if Silicon leaves on Ukama, but Rishi Jutsu's the Obi-10 instead, Rishi is ahead again. No, he's not because
He's not.
Ukama can Ukama can whirlwind this Scunch before it moves the next turn, and then it's a 2v1.
Yep.
Oh, but then he takes chip on 𝗬𝗪 to do that. Oh, wow. This is
This
close.
is way
He
more
stays in.
complicated than we think.
He
There's
Jutsu's
a-
Harvest. He doesn't go for the Water Cannon play onto Harvest. Aquatic Whirlwind is going to clean up Scunch here. Does he rest? What does he do in Ukama? 𝗬𝗠 rests. 𝗬𝗪 comes in. I don't think Rishi has enough gas to finish this off, but 𝗬𝗠 is very strong. We'll have to see.
If this
just
is
have
a
Tsunami,
2-0
which means-
sweep by like if Rishi gets 2-0 swept in this match, the last words that he wrote in chat was that he likes orange side to take first.
Well, okay, but I mean, also Silicon played straight. As Rishi pointed out, Silicon made pretty interesting swaps off that, so it's kind of hard to fault him. Also, I'm not entirely sure Gario wins this. Well, let's see. 𝗬𝗠 doesn't have very good defense.
Ooh, well
it's
that's
a
almost
2-hit KO.
20%. Yep.
Yeah, that's a 2-hit KO. Yeah, that's probably it for Rishi here. Yeah. Gotta love it when you see those 8th place runs